What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the second installment of our new show, Full Court Press. As always, me, your host, MattyChucks, and my co-host, Mike, otherwise known as MCbets, and our first ever guest, John Heislip at Slop Rules on Twitter. How are you guys both doing today?
Awesome.
Living the dream, boys. Oh, I thought it was McBets.
It is. It's whatever you want to say it. Doesn't matter.
So like for me, like it's McBets.
Yep,
like
done.
You're McBets to me.
So I still call him
like baby Jesus, like adult Jesus, like
Right.
Me, like
That's fine.
I like my McBets to be McBets.
Right.
It doesn't change.
My mic is McBets. Not
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
It doesn't change the aura of the guy.
No.
It's just it's your preference.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you guys who didn't watch the first episode, we talked about basically everything. There's a lot of gambling Twitter personalities, content creators, even athletes that no one really knows how they are behind a camera and can talk about basically everything with. So this show's purpose is to basically just hang out with Mr. John Heislip and, have a beer, as he already took a drink of one on screen.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's hot, man. It's hot. It's like July.
Yeah.
Friday. Mm-hmm. It's Friday at 4:00.
Yep.
What else?
It's Friday, and we gotta stay hydrated, guys. I'm a very hydrated individual.
Hydration is key.
Okay, so speaking of that, we have a couple questions in store. Let's just start off with the bang. Who is John Heislip? How did you get here? And then, do you have a first bet that you remember making?
This guy who loves to gamble. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I love to gamble. It's been like that for forever, since I can remember. I'm like, a lot of people don't know, but like, I'm kind of old. I've been around a while, dude. I don't even remember my first bet, but I remember loving to gamble literally the first time I ever bet, and it's been like that ever since. It's probably like 25 years, maybe more. I don't know.
That's the dream.
It's amazing.
Did you start off? I'm assuming you didn't start off on Twitter. Like, how did you get into this space?
All right, so I was in college, and I'm working as a waiter at the Olive Garden. It's beautiful.
Unlimited breadsticks.
Yep. And soup and salad. They still have that, probably. So there was this guy named I can say his name. There's a lot of these guys, but James Brown. And he was a little bit older than me.
Sounds like a made-up name.
No, it's really hit. That was his name. His name was James Brown. And he was a bartender. And James is a little bit older, but he was cool, man. Like real cool. And he had parlay slips. So it was awesome, dude. Because I was like, dude, like, this is sweet, man. Like, we can gamble. This is like before the internet, dude. Like, when the internet was around, but like not everyone even had it. And like, it wasn't like it was today, So you had a sheet, and then you would circle your stuff, and then write on the bottom, and you would tear off, the bottom and give it to them, like with your name and, whatever the hell was on there. So I would just had those. And I was like, dude, I'm going to get so rich. Like, I'm not going to have to do this shit anymore. I'm already I'm quitting school. I'm not waiting tables. And that's going to be it. I'm like 19, dude. I didn't know. So I got my ass kicked like the first time. I think I got like 1 out of like 8, because like, obviously you're going to go like 8 or 9. You're not going to do 3. Like, you're going to do a ton, because you're just going to get paid off this $5 bet. But ever since then, like, I remember my first one. I think the win on that one, I still remember, was Florida State. I think they played NC State that week, throttled them. But I lost every other bet on that card. But anyways, it just kept going after that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious, because I was telling Maddie last week, the sheets, that was my first bet. I was in high school, and my buddy comes up. He's like, "Oh, you want to pick a couple winners, and you can win some money." I'm like, obviously, it's football, right?
So easy.
Take it.
So easy.
Five games, $10 to win 150. Took the slip. Monday morning, wouldn't you know, comes knocking on the homeroom door, hands me an envelope. Boom, winner. I was like, wow, this is the easiest thing in the world.
Quit school immediately.
Done immediately. So now, obviously, lose a couple. And then I'm watching football one Sunday with my pops, and Giants convert a big third down. I don't move, right? Not even watching the game. I'm watching the ticker on the bottom. My dad's like, "What's going on? What's going on here? You didn't even move?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just checking the Texans score." He's like, "Timeout. I'm going to take a tea right here." He was like, pump the brakes. Let's just pump the brakes here.
How much you get on the Texans, kid?
And now I didn't pump the brakes. Clearly, I didn't pump the brakes. So, and here we are. And that's why I'm a parlay guy. It is what it is.
Nice.
I love
The
it.
slips, man. The slips.
Everyone's a parlay guy.
Old school.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Even
a parlay
me, I'm
guy.
not a parlay guy, but I am one now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've discovered the lottos. So like
they're addicting. They're addicting. So you are from Boston, but you also have you currently reside in the Thunderdome sometimes.
Yep.
Is that a real place, the Thunderdome? Is that a
It is. You've actually been there before.
I have.
And it was awesome. I had a great time. You did too. You actually profited, which is great. Because a lot of guys don't show up in the Thunderdome and profit the first time. Like they just don't. You know what I mean?
It's got to be overwhelming.
I was blindfolded coming in.
I'm like I try and talk trash. Like what I like to do is be all nice when I try and get you to come on, and then I'll say something like pretty slick, like very early in the show. Nothing crazy, you know what I mean? But just enough to be like, whoa, like what was that? You know what I mean? And just because you're already kind of nervous, there's already another capper in there that like you probably don't know, and you're just like, what am I doing here right now?
And he's also probably been there before.
Yep, exactly. Like usually, all right. So
this sounds personal. Personal.
No, it's all right. So you got to rattle the cage a little bit because like this is competition. Like we want the viewers to win. Don't get me wrong. I want all the picks to win just so the guys watching can get paid. But at the same time, if they don't, then I want to win. You know, like I want my picks to win. And if anybody's picks going to lose, I want it to be someone else's. So you want to kind of like, I don't know, rattle the cage. It started with me and Matt McEwen, Dead Prez.
Yeah.
It was me and him. And we had it last year, whatever we worked together. And we would just kind of jump the person. Like I would take like long shot plays. He would go with the, like minus money lines. And then we try and just trap the other person, whoever it was. And then that was tough to do. It just was. I don't know. It just didn't work the way we thought it was going to work. It should have worked better. But then now I don't work with him anymore. He doesn't come in every time. So now it's just me on my own trying to jump people. So
he jumped me. He jumped me and he crushed me with 2 dinger props. I would have been the winner had he not gone basically 2 for 3. He hit the 2 biggest plays. He hit the guy's bases. That's the only one he didn't hit, but John did hit 2 dingers.
Sawinski,
like
he could have stretched that single. He could have got the second on that.
I didn't even
realize that he hit a single in the first inning of that game, and he could have went to 7. Like, what are you doing, Jack? Like,
the Thunderdome's counting on you.
You know, like, because Jack Sawinski, he is a beast, and he's kind of fast for like a guy who hits dingers. So yeah, he hit a single like that. I was like, he could have stretched that out, and because it would have swept. But I didn't need the sweep. When you hit 2 home run props, like you see how it is. Like those odds are like whatever they are, plus 400 and something. You know what I mean? It's like 2 of them, you're golden.
I went in with the
good to go.
the 2+ RBI strategy. Endeavors had 1, and he had a guy on third base, and they intentionally walked him in the 8th, and I was like so pumped.
What a scumbag move!
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yep.
And I was like, and that was the 8th inning. They were winning. He wasn't going to get up again. I was like, man. But yeah, no, it is good. And I will say, like, if you can't handle a little bit of banter, you won't survive that Thunderdome. You won't.
No, you're gonna mess up. We've had a couple. I'm not gonna say who they were, but like if you want to look back for them, and it was just like, man, I thought that was gonna go so much better for that first. I thought they were gonna be like, I don't want to say the word cooler, but you know what I mean. Just like, I don't know, just somebody that could handle it. Luckily now though, we haven't had anybody recently. Like everyone's actually pretty good at it, which is dangerous for the new people coming on. Because like Eli, I don't know if you know him. He was in there with you. Yeah. So he's very good, very subtle, like digs. You know what I mean? Kind of get on your skin a little bit. Lucy Burge is actually very good too at just. She's more of an over the top. Like she'll just nickname you something shitty and just be like, you know what I mean? And she seems like such a nice girl, you know. And then all of a sudden, like she's just like trashing you right there. So yeah, it can be difficult in there. But we got a great crew. You're now part of it, Matt. So whenever you come back in, you're gonna need to, like I said, like don't let these rookies just come in and just start picking on you. You know what I mean? Like
no, that's true. And I mean, I've had you on the show before. We've interacted before, so I knew what I was getting into. I think some people may not understand what they're getting into, but yeah, if you have not checked out the Thunderdome, is your YouTube channel called Slops Locks?
Slop Rules.
Slop Rules, and then the thing is Slops Locks on there. We
show's
can
called
plug that
Fun.
in the description. We'll put that in the description.
Great show. It's on Fridays. It goes all year round. So every Friday we have one. So McBets, watch out, man. You might be in there now that you have a little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You might have a leg up, but we're
it.
not gonna take it easy on you, man. Like
I'd still be a rookie.
It's gonna be all like nice, and then all of a sudden someone's gonna say something shitty to you.
Daggers,
like,
It's
all right.
It's all right. All's fair in love and gambling.
You're almost in his house. Like he has the producer on his side too, so it's almost like
always.
You're in a different country and you got to play by the rules, or else you're gonna have a hard time.
Go to jail. It's like going to jail in like Singapore.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that, dude.
You do post a lot about you. I think I saw a bowling trophy, a slow pitch softball trophy. Is there something you're just not good at, or
no?
No.
Short answer: no. Growing hair. Probably growing hair would be something I'm not very good at. Haven't been very good at that.
That's out of your control, though. That's out of your control, though.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be though. I figure I can do everything else. I might as well be able to grow hair.
I was telling Maddie before. You look like you absolutely dominate backyard games.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody just making fun of me for my buddy Feudo. He was like, dude, like you're just one of those guys who just beat up people in like backyard games,
cornhole.
Like darts, cornhole.
Yeah, you're
bowling,
like the women.
like just
we're having
stuff.
the barbecue
ring toss game.
Yes,
where it's on the rope, or dude. Like 10 in a row, I think, is the record on my back porch. I'll fuck around. You know what I mean?
No, you can't. You're like the Wembanyama.
I have kids, man. Like, you got to show them, you know?
That's right.
Do you ever let your kids win?
No.
What are you, crazy? There's a guy who doesn't have kids.
Yeah, you cannot. Where does it end? You know what I mean? When you do that, like, you can't. You just
teach them young.
That's true. I feel like your daily routine is you find bangers, you find winners, right? And then you drink a beer, and there's like a plethora of backyard games, and he's just taking his turn.
Yeah.
So you know what's funny is about right now, it's 4:30 on a Friday. We've done all the content for the day. You know, you're pumping the stuff. You know, you're talking trash on Twitter. You know, just normal stuff. But I do it on the back porch, and I'm just throwing darts. I'll be out there for like an hour and a half before we do burger night on Fridays, right? So the grill's out there, and I'll go out there to like do the burgers. I'll be out there for like an hour and a half before that grill even comes on, and we're just throwing darts. I'm just, might have a beer, maybe two. And sometimes Friday's a little slower in the beer side for me, but yeah, it's darts. Darts is my favorite one, even though it's not really a backyard game, but it kind of is.
Yeah,
it can be. It can
be in a way. You know what I mean?
Very versatile.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be inside.
No, I mean it's probably harder outside though.
Yeah, win factors.
I'm on a back porch, so it's like a screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's it's covered, it's back porch, but you are outside. And I don't know, a lot of the people up here in New England, like their dartboard is in their like kind of like port, like man space. You know what I mean? Which is generally going to be like a screened-in type area. Okay,
so you do all this stuff in the day, right? I'm assuming you get the questions from friends, your kids' parents, right? They're like, oh, what do you do for a living? That's like the American question, right? What do you say?
I was like, just follow me on Twitter. Like, I can't really understand it. You know what I mean? Like, they never know. Like, I talk about like sports betting and stuff. They're like, oh, you're a professional bettor. I'm like, I wouldn't say that.
It's either like you're either crazy degenerate gambler or you're a loser, and there's like no.
Yeah, it's like like sports betting. Like, oh, you're a loser. Like, maybe I guess. I'm happier than you are.
Or you get the judge. You get the judgmental look like. You gamble?
Yeah, it's usually by somebody too that you're just like, whatever, man.
Who cares? I don't like you anyway.
Like I don't really care.
They're like, Alex, get away from him right now. We're not friends with them anymore.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the wife don't want their husband around. They're like, dude, you gotta watch out for this guy. It's like, buddy, just relax. A little fun. No one's gonna lose the house, like probably.
Yeah.
How old are your kids? They older?
They're 13, 11, and 9. All so
girls. your kids' friends must think you're the man.
Yeah, see, they're all in sports. A lot of people don't know this. I'm the president of the girls basketball league here in Tewksbury. So they all play sports. So they all kind of know me from that, like coaching and stuff like that. Before that, I was in the soccer program. Like I coached a lot of them in soccer, and like you meet them when they're like 4 years old. You know what I mean? So they play soccer like super little. So like you coach them the whole time. You kind of know them already. So they all know me kind of from that. And then now they're kind of getting a hold of the fact that, like, they'll find me on Twitter or something. It's like, wait a minute, like what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what's this?
All he thinks about is dingers, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love dingers, you know, like everyone does. But yeah, no, it's kind of funny. Like, you never know what they're thinking though. These kids are wild.
Yeah. No, I think further on, I mean, but all these kids know more about gambling now that they can have ads on these games and stuff. Like, I feel like these 11-year-olds or 13-year-olds, like, I didn't really gamble at 12, obviously. Like, I thought, oh, my team's gonna win, but I never really thought about like. But now I feel like the age is getting
it's in your
lower.
face. Every commercial, it's just in your face, in your face,
Yep,
in your face
all the time, always.
Yeah.
Now my buddy, so I'm at the grocery store, and a good friend of mine, his kid walks up to me, and he's with his mom, and he's just like, "Hey, tell her to let me get a FanDuel account." I'm just like, bro.
He's like, use my link.
14.
Yeah, use my link. yeah, here, use this one.
But if you
This
do,
specific one.
here's a link.
Yeah.
You tell her if she's
know,
feeling
I was like,
generous on
buddy,
Christmas, use
that
my
is not
link.
gonna happen.
And you know something, it's always good to have multiple books for the best
Yeah.
odds. So use this
Exactly.
link and this one
Exactly.
too.
You ever heard of Odds Jam? Might want to sign up for that too. For the kids.
Yeah, it's
kids.
like I coached soccer for a little bit, and I feel like my schedule's too all over the place that I can't commit, so I kind of just volunteer back at where I used to work. And the younger the age, like it was like seniors would ask me what to like, hey, like, you gamble? I'm like, listen, like you're 17, like relax. And then like now it's like the freshmen are like, hey, so like I have this parlay. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Nice. Okay, well, hey, but while we're on it, who's in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What? Why do you like him? Why do you like him?
Walk me through that. You know anything?
It's insane. I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of Twitter followers that are either very good supporters, and I'm sure your brand gets a lot of hate. I know, like Mike here gets a ton of hate from random people.
Yeah. Always.
Do you have what's your favorite type of Twitter follower and your least favorite?
The least favorite is the one that they come like right after you hit a big parlay. Because you're like, oh, like buddy, like you know what I mean? Like we're probably not going to hit another like plus 880 parlay, 8,800 parlay for a while. Like so, relax. So that doesn't mean I suck, but at the same time, like just temper your expectations. So they're usually not ready for that. So that's my least favorite one. And my favorite one is the ones that just get the whole like vibe because
That's it. It's a vibe.
I'm just a guy that likes to bet. You know what I mean? But gambling should be recreational, like in my opinion. You got guys that are, they're trying to make money. They're trying to eke out a living. Like those guys, yeah, whatever. I can't be that. I could never do that.
I'm with you.
That would just not be, that's not fun to me. You know what I mean? Like it's more, the goal is to not deposit at all, ever. And once you master that, like you're good. But you have to understand what it is. Like all you're doing is taking money and just passing it back and forth between books for a year and entertaining yourself. Like that's all you're doing. It's free. It's free entertainment. Like go to a movie. That money's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and the movie could suck.
Your money back at the end, possibly, or double your money. They're not doing that. That's why, like, Game of Better, it's like you actually got a chance to walk away with some cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've been profitable, but at the same time, I don't like to like tell people that, like, oh, well, I'm a profitable bettor. So because then they think they're gonna, make money and like quit their jobs and shit. And you're like, dude, that's not like what I'm trying to do at all.
No.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah. Especially like if I'm sitting down, if I'm watching a game anyway, from my couch, I'll throw $10 to win 100, 200. Because guess what? I'm home watching the game anyway.
Yes.
What's
exactly.
$10? If I went to the game, it would cost me hundreds of dollars that I'm not getting back.
Ever.
So it's a $10 entertainment investment, and I'm watching the game anyway. That's it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I feel like the dynamic has changed over time, and I feel like a lot of the older guys don't really understand that. Like I talked to my dad, and he's like, I'm like, you watch the game every night. I watch the game. I have $10 on this crazy lotto.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no difference except I have a chance to win money and you don't.
Yeah. And I'm so into it. It's like, oh, but you could lose. It's like, yeah, but like, what? That's like loser talk. Like, what kind of? I mean, what do you mean? Like,
yeah, what kind of son did you raise?
Yeah, it's like, come on. Like,
well, if that's your mentality, you've already lost.
Exactly. That's 100%. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, what do you mean? Of course you could lose. Like that's
my least favorite Twitter follower is the one who goes, and they'll usually follow you for a little bit, and then you won't hear from them again, and then you'll be like, oh, I remember this guy because he comes on, and you're on like a 9-0 run, and you lose that next one, and he goes, My fault. It's because I tailed.
Yeah.
That guy.
I like the accountability guy, though. I'll take him. Like,
That's
you
true.
know,
That's the other
it is
shoe
your
there.
fault.
Yeah.
100%. You're right. No, I hate the Yeah, now that we get onto this, let's start trashing Twitter followers. No, but like,
there's good and bad people, good and bad everywhere.
I hate the you post like today it happened in Thunderdome. I mean, go look it up. So it's in the mentions now. And the guy's like, I don't know. There's 6 home run lottos in here. It's kind of risky to parlay them. I'm like, buddy, like
that's what the odds mean.
That might be why you could bet $5 and win $2 million.
Yeah,
you might have just figured out odds.
Yes.
Like, I think you just literally figured out odds. Like, if
you know that 8-digit number in the top right,
yeah.
like that's what that is. Exactly.
I just kind of wonder, like, because who knows these people in real life? You know, like someone was telling me, like, dude, are you serious right now?
Right.
Like,
you know what's funny?
What
make it even funnier?
$2 million.
Is if off the bat he didn't realize, but he was like looking, he was like, oh, maybe 3 home runs, but this, I don't know.
I don't know about
like,
4. Don't get
crazy.
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 You know? Yeah, come on.
Like,
come on,
guys. Like you just gotta understand odds, man. Like, you understand, it's very risky. If it wasn't, then like, why would they give you $2 million for a $5 bet? Like, I don't think you understand how money works.
I feel like a lot of these guys are like first-time gamblers, which I love. But what would be your message to first-time gamblers if you had to say something, whether it was a lesson or just anything?
Understand you're gonna lose, man. Like you're gonna lose some. Like, and you're not gonna be profitable your first year. And if you are, you got very lucky. Like, you're just bet within your means. So take your money, put it aside, divide your whole bankroll by 100, have 100 units. And if you start with $100, that means you're betting $1 a game. Learn how to do that. You know, once you can do that.
Fine.
It's fine. I don't unit shame. Like, everybody's been there. You know what I mean? Like, you just want some action. Like, it's action's action.
That's probably my most hated person, the unit shamer. You know, like you see people who tail a parlay and it's like $2.50, and they won whatever, $20 or whatever, and they're pumped about it. And then you get somebody in there like, want to wager real money. I'm like, whoa, man. Who knows what this guy's situation is? Real money.
No idea. Yep.
He's pumped. He won $25. Be happy for the guy.
Yeah. Whatever.
Sick.
Yeah. I feel like that there's also a mix of people who abuse the system where they'll just put a ton of money down and it's like a plus 300 parlay. It's like, wow, this guy just won $800,000. Like, well, he put like $250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you bet real money to win. I mean, it's nice. The win's nice. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Lotto parlays. Like, I wasn't even a home run guy until this season, like midway through. And I just think that, like, I don't know, like those are fun to like try to hit. Like, are they gonna hit a 5-leg home run parlay? Like, probably not. There's gonna be one time when it lines up for you and you drill 5 to win like 35K or something stupid like that. That's gonna happen, you know, and so that can happen, but you just gotta learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, responsibly, obviously.
And it's also like everyone's invested in it. Like, if you get the first 2, now your whole Monday night, or let's say it's a random Wednesday night, now you go from the 7 o'clock games to the 8 o'clock games, 9 o'clock games, and you still got life. You're feeling it. You're thinking about all the cars you're going to buy. Like, but it occupies your brain and it gives you entertainment for that whole night. And it costs you $5.
That's what happened with the Thunderdome, the sweep. Everyone knocked it and everyone's waiting on Ohtani late. It was like a group.
That was amazing.
Everybody was waiting for it. It was unbelievable.
All I was thinking was like, wow, like we might sweep. Like, I was laying on the couch. You know what I mean? Like, I was probably going to go to bed. Like, I didn't even know. And then I saw that Santana hit a walk-off. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I know he was there. And now I started to kind of, start focused on other people's bets from there. Yeah. And it hit me like, oh, wow, Ohtani, we might sweep tonight. So some dude sends me a sorry, my dog's going nuts.
You're good. That's all natural.
No, this was her favorite episode. So I get why she's going nuts. But no, so he sends me a ticket. He's like, dude, I'm freaking out. If Ohtani hits a home run, I win $30K. And it's the ticket. And it says $5 to win $30K. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he was at work. Imagine being at work. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? You're at work Friday night. You're doing whatever they do. Like, I was thinking like bartending or like.
You don't want to be there.
Like, you're bartending. You're like, dude, I'm about to win $30K if this dude hits a home run. And then he did. So then once he
And then he
did,
did.
there's another ticket in the DMs, 10 to win 60, because I posted the first one. Like this guy.
Right.
Then
Someone just big dick that guy.
The floodgates open, and I'm like, you crazy, crazy bastards parlayed all my picks. Like, you guys are sick. And it's awesome.
You know what's crazy? I know none of them singled any of them. They just
it was all or
no.
It was either I win 60K tonight or I lose
or I
money.
lose $10. But that $10 is so worth the next 4 hours of tracking all these bets all over the place.
I did. So to be honest with you, man, I wasn't tracking. I was only tracking mine that night, and all won, no big deal. But
no
it
big
was
deal.
awesome. Great night.
How was your mind though going to bed and you go, why didn't I just parlay him? I'm the one that uploaded the video.
That was the first day. Like, so then I told my wife the next day. She's like, "Well, how much did you win?" I was like, $230. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Would you bet a penny?
Well, why did they win, sis? Like, well, because they're psychotic.
Yeah, right.
Parlayed everything.
Yes.
Which I love those guys though, man, because those are my people right there. Like those are the guys. Like every one of those dudes are just fun dudes to hang out with. Like
100%.
you know that right
because
away.
they're making a Monday night awesome or
sick
Friday night.
bastard. Like yes, I would hang out with you any day of the week.
Yeah, you
100%.
know. I had a parlay like that last year on a Dinger Tuesday. It was nowhere near 5 for 30K, but it was 4 dudes hit a home run. And it was a Dinger Tuesday, and I was on vacation with my fiance, and we were in New Hampshire, which didn't have legal sports betting. So I just posted my 4 guys on Dinger Tuesday, and I had always parlayed them, but I couldn't because I was in a non-legal state. And and of course it happens, and everyone's like, dude, I just won this much money. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm like, babe, like I swept Dinger Tuesday, and she's, oh, how much money did you win? I was like,
Zero.
Oh, well, nothing, because you wanted to go on this trip to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Honestly, I would blame her. Like, who the hell goes on vacation in New Hampshire, bro?
Yeah.
They have DraftKings there, but I mean, if you don't have DraftKings in your state, then you're screwed because they have nothing else. So you can't bet at FanDuel. You can't bet at anywhere. Like
this was last year too. I don't think they even had DraftKings yet. They didn't even. It was bad, but I love that everyone else can win money, and that's what the beauty of the Thunderdome is.
Yep.
Me too. I love it. Like I like that guys got paid. Like I was more happy about that than like sweeping. Like I was because you want to post that screenshot because Nigel always has the graphic ready and he'll send it. And I hate doing it when like we all 3 lose because that happens all the time. Because like everyone's betting like the Thunderdome's turned into like long shot dome. You know what I mean? Where it's like everybody's got a long shot. So it's kind of different now, but like, there are times where it's like everybody went 0 for 3. It's like, all right, I get to post that we just lost everybody. This is fun. Even though I'll never post that, I'll always find a way to not post it.
Yeah.
I'm very good at. I'm like, well, I was tired, fell asleep. And when I woke up Saturday, why would anybody want to see that? We're on to the new day.
No one.
Yeah, we're already on a new day. My eyes are closed. It's over.
Exactly.
So what do you like to do for football season? Is there a specific thing you like to bet on? Is there like a prop you love?
Receiving yards. It's the highest variance one there is. You know what I mean? Like the guy's line could be 40 and he could get $150. Like that could, you know what I'm saying, happen. Like you could write game script, it goes by averages, but like averages don't really matter in when it comes to game scripts because game script determines everything in football. So, if you get a team that they're getting beaten and they're a running team, they're throwing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not factored in really to the line. It's like you might get a 40+ yards at plus 105, like, and the guy has that literally early in the game. Like that's my favorite way to do it.
Or on one catch, there's nothing like he clears his line for the game.
Yeah. Guy
like
falls
a screen
down
pass.
just like just boots off. You're like, all right.
Takes an 80-yard screen pass to the house. You're like, holy
genius.
What was I gonna say? We when I hate football season though because everyone thinks that they're like the football sharp, whereas like other sports they're like, oh, I'll follow you for baseball. I don't really pay too much attention. I want to follow stuff. Football, you'll have the most comments on why your pick sucks.
Yeah, it's dude. There's no way they're gonna win. Shut up, nerd.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like
nerd alert.
Yeah, like all right. So that's what happens. Right now is a pretty bad time of year for that. Like I can't wait every year for week 1 because now we get to like just stop with the experts because everybody's an expert. Even the experts they're coming out now with everybody has like a pick for rookie of the year, coach of the year, season-long player props, win totals, everything. And it's just like, oh my God, none of this shit's gonna mean anything week 2. It's all, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just completely in your rear view. You don't care about it anymore. Your guy got hurt, you know what I mean? So now all your arguments that you had literally for months about this guy's over and rushing yards is meaningless because the guy tore his ACL. It's just such a tough time just to be hanging out because again, there's no game.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
no
weeks 1 to 5. Weeks 1 to 5, I feel like are completely different because you're like, oh, this team sucked. I thought they're gonna be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, all right, well, like, so I'm more of a just get me to week 1, and I'll start betting week 1 lines. You can watch preseason. Like I've been reading about NFL. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I try not to even like talk about it, bet on, like even think about betting on it because you're giving the book like literally a 6-month loan. So I'm not really a futures guy. I do get futures. I'm not saying it's stupid to bet futures. No one's saying that. I'm just saying me personally.
You got to be careful. The people in the comments.
Like, that's not how my brain works. Like I just don't like the futures markets, and whatever, man. Just give me week to week. I'm fine. I got baseball, dude. I can watch baseball all the way until week 1, and that's when it ends. Like that day, week 1. That's when.
Like if I put a bet in, I don't want to wait 6 months to find out. Like I can't do it.
And that doesn't make anybody else stupid for doing it. Like, I'm not even saying it. You know what I mean?
I love futures, but I do like $5 on 3 leagues to win like 30 grand. And then like if I have 2 win, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I'm not putting like money down like a plus. My pay is like a plus 400 like division winner. It's like, what are we waiting 6 months for? If like a plus,
I'd rather do a plus 400 dinger tonight, and I'm gonna win or lose tonight. We do it again tomorrow. Like
100%. Yeah. And that's just how it works. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, different strokes for different folks, but I'm just, like I said, not really into the whole futures. And again, right now, though, it's so bad. Like on Twitter, like you go on Twitter, it's like, especially All-Star break, because no one has anything to post, so they're going to post all their NFL stuff. And you're like, buddy, I'm not ready for this.
It's too early. It's too early.
I love when, like, as soon as one trade happens, it's like, oh, these guys are nasty now. It's like, you don't know. I didn't even travel to the city.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. And then, like I said, but dude, wait till preseason. Like, I remember the year Mike Vick broke his leg. Like, remember that against the Ravens in preseason? My buddy picked him like 10 minutes before that at a fantasy draft. I'll never forget that. But like the Viking or the Falcons were like disgusting that year. They're gonna win the whole thing. Mike Vick breaks his leg. All right, that's done.
Yeah,
the season hasn't even started yet, and it's like I don't know.
Especially in football with so many injuries where it's like. Like it's just non-contact, contact. Like so much stuff can happen that it's just
you know what's the worst part about that? They won't even grade that as a loss until the season's over. So you got to look at that bet every day in your actives.
That's a great point because that's another psychological edge.
It's like it's like false hope. This thing is dead, but they won't grade it. They're gonna make me look at this every day.
Guys are broken.
Absolutely,
can't do it. He's not getting Russian numbers, I'm telling you.
The books are always gonna try to get you. We've taken John for too much of his time. Mike, do you have any more questions for John before we let him go slug a few more beers?
I think I've gotten. I was right on my read on the backyard game. King was right on. That was sharp. That was sharp. So I'm content here. I'm content. We'd love to have you on again later on, maybe for football.
Yeah,
absolutely, you want, man. I'm always around, dude.
Always. Well, literally John, you are. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys for the viewers for tuning in to this episode of Full Court Press. Let us know what other guests you guys want on here. I can't wait to have some live episodes as well where you guys can ask questions. But for now, let us know what other athletes you want, content creators, gambling Twitter personalities, whoever it may be. Even what's that woman's name on Loyola Chicago? Sister Jean. Get her on. She's still alive.
Sister Jean on.
Get whoever you want on.
She's alive, right?
I hope so.
Do we know? Is that confirmed? I think she
may have to cut that, but appreciate it.
Always make sure the person's alive. I saw that in Wedding Crashers.
Yes.
This has been the second episode. See you guys next week for episode number 3. As always, best luck on your bets today. So you guys.